Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Sommer here to talk about what does Mrs. Sommer's class look like. To start off, I wanted to talk about attendance and live session expectations. So for quarter 2, attendance is based on Google Meet attendance. So we will meet every school day during your assigned class period. We meet the first 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the day, of our class period, and then the remaining class time is yours to complete your lessons at your pace. Twice a week, we will be doing breakout groups. The groups will be based on progress trackers. So I'll try to group kids together who are on the same lesson. And you are expected to participate in your small groups. I would really appreciate it if you guys would have your cameras on during our live sessions. If you'd like to know how to turn off viewing yourself, if you're like me and cannot stand looking at yourself in the camera, like on screen as you are talking, I can show you how to turn that off if that is what's hindering you keeping your camera on. I want to get to know you guys, and I want to know what your faces look like and what you guys sound like. That's really hard to do if you never talk in the meets and never have your cameras on. And then I'm also going to try a new variety of new engagement activities during our live sessions, polls, Q&A, show you some interesting chemistry videos, that kind of thing. So in my class, we do what's called a modified self-paced learning module. So what is self-paced learning? Self-paced learning is a method of learning that allows students to achieve mastery through a practice and revision cycle. The learner is able to control the amount of material they consume, as well as the duration of time to master the material within a set unit. Self-paced learning, though, is not self-taught learning. Myself and Mrs. Fleischer have created a lot of these lessons together, and we're together with you every step of the way. I will be there providing extra learning opportunities, support, revision opportunities, all of those things. So what does self-paced learning look like in my class? So each unit, students will receive a self-pacing tracker. A lot of times it is that one-page weekly lesson plan, or it's in Google Classroom with the required content learning experiences, learning assignments, mastery checks, and revision opportunities. And if you look over here, we've got this cycle. We start with the content learning, then you do a learning assignment, then you do a mastery check, and then you do revision if necessary. If you don't, then you continue on the whole cycle through each little lesson. Content learning, you need to watch the ed puzzles. This is how my content is being delivered. Without these, you'll be very lost. Take notes and be diligent while watching the ed puzzles. So pause it, rewind. If you're stuck, rewind it, rewatch it again. Write those things down. Keep a notebook with all of your notes. Write down any questions that you need to ask me about to clarify in our live sessions. The learning assignment. So here's a tip. Try 5 questions on the learning assignment. If you understand the material, go on to the mastery check. If you are not successful on the mastery check, go back and try another couple questions. Join in the Google Meet, ask me questions, those type of things. Mastery checks. This goes in the grade book as a 0, 90, or 100. You either get it or you don't. Did you pass the mastery check? Great, move on to the next lesson. You didn't pass, do revision. So our revision is, didn't pass the mastery check? Go back to the ed puzzles, practice some more on the learning assignments. Use the unit notebook. This has notes and extra resources embedded. Second try of mastery and didn't pass? Join my Google Meet to ask questions. Email me for specific help. Okay, even though our Google Meets are only 15 to 30 minutes, I keep the Google Meet open the entire class period for you to pop back in and ask for help. So here's a little bit more information on what's in each lesson. Most of our lessons are actually delivered by instructional videos that we've created. All of my videos are created by me. Ms. Fleischer's class videos are created by Ms. Fleischer, so you'll always hear me talking. Learning assignments are an activity that will be designed to help students develop mastery. So a lot of times there'll be virtual lab, interactive worksheets, mini projects using online tools, etc. Mastery checks is a formative assessment designed so students can demonstrate mastery for each lesson. For example, Google Forms with multiple choice, short answer, videos, images, etc. We will use Google Forms a lot in this class. And then the steps for revision, like we talked about previously. So what is exactly mastery? Mastery learning maintains that students must achieve a level of mastery, for example, 90% on a knowledge test, in prerequisite knowledge before moving forward to learn subsequent information. If a student does not achieve mastery on the test, they are given additional support in learning and reviewing the information and then tested again. This cycle continues until the learner accomplishes mastery. Then they may move on to the next stage. The big benefit for students for using the self-paced learning method and mastery-based is that students have time to focus on the material that challenges them. They don't have to wait on others to go through the material that's easy for them. They build self-management and time management skills. Don't miss critical information if they miss a live lecture, and it avoids those gaps in knowledge. For teachers, they're not tied to the front of the room, so they have time to identify and support each student's individual needs. And they can build relationships with students by having time to talk with each student and get to know their learning style. So what are my responsibilities in this whole thing, and Ms. Fleischer's responsibilities? We create content lessons that are designed to address the specific learning objectives. We select activities and resources that help students meet each specific learning objective. We provide timely, constructive feedback on learning assignments and mastery checks so that students can progress towards mastery. We're available to help students understand content by reteaching when students struggle to reach mastery on any given objective. And we support all students and facilitate progress towards mastery. So what are the students' responsibilities with self-paced learning? Try your best. Chemistry is really hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Chemistry is difficult. But try your best. Try your hardest. Engage in this material, in your learning with fidelity. Take your time to truly learn the material and don't rush through the material just to get it done. I can guarantee you, if you're doing that, you will not reach mastery and you'll have to go back and repeat it. It's easier to take your time the first time and reach mastery that first time than having to go back and redo it. If you don't demonstrate mastery, go back and review your material. Ask for revision time. Ask for help. Come talk to me and keep trying. Don't plagiarize. Also, don't plagiarize another student's work by copying off the internet. The RRHS academic honesty and plagiarism guidelines still apply during remote learning. So how are things graded? Mastery checks go in the learning experience 30% category. They'll be graded on 3-point scale. Either you did not achieve mastery, you earned a 90% and achieved mastery, or you earned 100% and you achieved mastery. But you can repeat in the mastery checks. Every single student and every single lesson should have a 90 or 100 in the gradebook because they are able to go back and get that score as many times as they need to reach that mastery and really learn that concept. So there should never be a 0 by the end of the unit in the gradebook for a mastery check. The unit tests go into the evidence of 70% category. We use the full RRH grading rubric, and we grade based on each objective. And they have a fixed date of completion. Each unit test has a fixed date of when we are giving it, and all your mastery checks, unit material has to be mastered by that date. So, and then students are not allowed to complete revisions on the semester final, but every other test, they are allowed to complete revisions on their summative assessment. So each unit test, there will be a retake offered within 2 days of that unit test. So retakes on unit tests will be 1 to 2 days after unit test. Feedback and communication. How can you get a hold of me? Email or text messaging. It's probably the easiest way. My Google Voice school issued phone number is this. My email is here. Make sure you're spelling my name correctly. There's no S at the end and there's no U. It's Mrs. Sommer, but it's spelled with an O and no S at the end. And also check your school email daily, if not multiple times a day. I will send those mastery check grades back through Google Classroom almost within a couple hours of you taking it. If it's during your assigned class period, you can guarantee that within probably 30 minutes, you will get the your grade and that feedback back. Look at it. Check it all the time. And then for text messages, you can text me during the school week between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. You may call the school during school hours, 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. If you text or call outside of those hours, I cannot guarantee that I will respond until the next school day. So I'd like to just share with you guys some of my results from our district common assessment. So every kid taking chemistry in Q1 has taken these tests throughout the district. And I wanted to show you that the self-paced mastery-based class is working. So if we look over here, my students, this is me, 77% had the average percent correct. And if you look over here, this is the key information. 63% of my students in Q1 on DCA Cycle 1 reached mastery on that information, compared to 50% of the district kids. So the other kids in the district had 50% of those kids reaching mastery, but for me, I had 63%. Now on DCA Cycle 2, which we just took, 83% of my students reached mastery on DCA Cycle 2, compared to 54% of the district students reaching mastery, which is amazing. This is working. So engage in it, enjoy it, learn from it. The data is showing that you guys, students, are learning through this model. So I know for a fact that you guys can do it too. So I'm kind of excited to see Q2. If you guys can beat this scores, can you beat those? I think you guys can. So please email me if you have any questions at ksummer@sd27j.net.